Well, I don't care how many they are. Any person who put the religious identity above the highest interest of humanity, I have no respect for these people. The majority of the Muslim people identified with Hamas, supported Hamas. Show me how many Muslims out there who condemned Hamas genocide. Why? Is it because Jewish blood?
Finish the job. This is what our president, Mr. Donald J. Trump, told Mr. Bibi Netanyahu, Prime Minister of Israel. Finish the job. Isn't the world ready to finish this job? Well, this job to finish, we never started. This was a war that Hamas attacked us. Now we must finish the job. We've been trying to finish the job already for close to 2 years. This job will be finished when Hamas returns the hostages. Then this job is finished. Listen to this interaction with the son of Hamas, Mr. Mossab Hasan Yousef, and see the attack of the legacy media on world stage, and draw your own conclusions where the world is at and where the son of Hamas is at, which is fascinating to be able to hear words from someone who grew up as one of the founders of Hamas. Please listen with me. Kindly subscribe to this channel so a little bit of light can push away the darkness and finally finish this job.
Israel should finish the job. They should eradicate Hamas.
Well, absolutely, because all the calling for a ceasefire is calling for surrender. They want Israel to surrender to the terrorist savages and sit down at the table and negotiate with them. And this is absolutely rejected.
Is there any deal to ever be done with Hamas? You know Hamas very well, obviously, through your father. Is there any deal to be done with a group like this now?
There is no deal with the devil. There is no deal with Hamas as long as they pose a threat against children, against civilians, and destabilize security in the entire region. If they get away with their crime, and their crime is not just any crime, it's a genocide. If they get away with their crime, what will they do tomorrow? They have to be punished and they have to be held accountable. All the calling for ceasefire, those are the people who want to give a lifeline to Hamas. And this is not acceptable.
Mosab, you tweeted on Friday something that many people found incendiary. You said, never trust anyone who identifies as a Muslim. They may appear as a harmless sheep when they are alone, but when they're in a pack, they will begin to show their tusks. I have zero respect for any individual who identifies as a Muslim, and I may consider the use of force when it comes to Islamists. What did you mean by that? Many people have said, well, why would you say that about, over 1 billion people?
Well, I don't care how many they are. Any person who put the religious identity above the highest interest of humanity, I have no respect for these people. The majority of the Muslim people identified with Hamas, supported Hamas. Show me how many Muslims out there who condemned Hamas genocide. Why? Is it because Jewish blood? This is what I meant, that the Muslims, as long as they give Hamas cover, I have no respect for them. As long as I identify as Muslims, I have no respect for them.
But I've interviewed a number of Muslims on this show who do not support Hamas and have renounced them. Cenk himself came on the show before and immediately denounced what Hamas did on October the 7th.
I am dealing with a majority of Muslim countries, governments, an entire nation. Don't tell me about an individual here or there. We're talking about a majority of Muslim people
I'm only saying that because
who fail to take their moral responsibility.
Understand,
they fail to take their moral responsibility because it's Jewish people.
I understand, but you did say literally every Muslim. You said don't trust anyone who identifies as a Muslim. That's all of them. And what I'm saying to you is I've interviewed many Muslims on this show who are not extremists, who do not support what Hamas did, who believe what they did was a terror attack.
But they still have the need for a religious identity, which is a false identity. Individuality is something else. Freedom is something else. a person who know who they are above all national and religious identities. There is no need to pose as a Muslim in a critical time in the human history. This is the time to take moral responsibility. What's the point of identifying as a Muslim while people threatening to erase an entire Jewish community? This is not acceptable. This is why I want the Muslim to stand and be clear.
Okay.
Up to this point, I haven't seen the Muslims taking a moral stand, a firm stand against Hamas. You know why? Because they are Muslims. Because they are Muslims against the Jewish people. And this is where I want to push the Muslims to the point where they need to stand firmly and say, it doesn't matter if they are Jewish or Christians. A genocide is a genocide and is rejected. Hamas is rejected. I want to see this clearly. Then after that, I will have respect for the majority of the Muslim people. As long as they fail their moral responsibility, I have no respect for them.
Okay. You made your point very firmly there. We bring in Avram. Avram, look, a lot of emotions run very high with this, understandably. A lot of people have been killed on both sides. It's horrific.
This is the reality that when we are dealing with a nation who says it openly that their religion teaches them that the infidels must be eliminated, then yes, then how do we coexist in humanity? So we're dealing in a world right now, as Mr. Mossab was just mentioning, he grew up as a son of Hamas, one of the founders of Hamas. And he rejected it and realizing that he doesn't want to be part of a death cult. Well, there is an expression, a line in the Talmud that talks about when you don't protest something that's happening, you become complicit. In other words, what he's asking for from the 2 billion Muslims that are out there, do you condemn the acts of Hamas on October 7? Or do you condone it? If so, have you come out publicly and condemned the bloodshed of innocent babies, children, men, women, young and old? Do you condemn the torture, the raping, the beheading, the burning of innocent bodies, the kidnapping of little babies, holding them in the dungeons under Gaza? Do you condemn that? And if you're not coming out publicly to condemn that, that means you are complicit with it. It is so important for any religion who wants to hold its head up high in the moral level to be able to say, we are against death, bloodshed, pain, and suffering. We are a religion of peace. Well, Judaism, the whole basis and foundation of Judaism is about life. There are 2 words that the Torah expresses what Judaism is about. And those 2 words are, I would say it in Hebrew, v'chai bohem. Judaism is about living, about the life. In the 10 Commandments it says, thou shalt not kill. What does it mean, thou shalt not kill? Thou shalt not murder. However, if someone is coming to murder you, they have lost the identity as a human. And therefore you must kill them first and not allow yourself to be killed. Judaism as a whole, as a religion, are not interested in killing, in death. We do defend ourselves at any cost to protect ourselves. And this is why Israel is called the Israel Defense Force. In 1948, that's what was formed, was the Israel Defense Force after Israel became a statehood. It needed to defend itself against the neighbors who do not want to recognize our right for existence. Understanding that Israel has been a gift from God, going back 3,337 years ago, when God gave us the commandments, the Torah, and He told us that there's going to be the land of Israel that I have given you. And we have been there since. And yet, the neighbors that are around there, if they would only accept our right for existence, and we can collaborate together and work as partners, as Israel has done. Israel continues to do, even covertly, with the local Arab nations, always helping them out with their emergency medical needs. So many of our enemies have come to the doors of Israel begging for surgical help, for medical help, that Israel has never turned them away. Israel is always there in the forefront to help those in need throughout the world. Whenever there's ever a national catastrophe, whenever there's a disaster, Israel takes its expertise, its first responders, and is always there right on site to set up a meta camp, to be able to set up rescues, and to do whatever it can to take from its own experience to help the rest of the world. This is what Judaism is about. Judaism is about being a light unto the nations. Judaism is about not helping just Jews, but helping the world, helping God's people, helping humanity, always being there, always being available. Take our knowledge, our wisdom, and our understanding and apply it to innovations, to inventions. Take technology to its cutting edge. Take medicine to its cutting edge. Let's work on education. Let's work on psychology. Let's work on agriculture. Let's work in every area of life. How can we better it for all humanity, not just for the Jewish people, but for all humanity? This is what Israel is about. This is what the Jewish people is about. When God gave us the 10 Commandments and God told us, I want you to be a light unto the nations, we took it literally. In 1948, when Israel became a state, we decided we're going to take this desolate land of Israel, we're going to take this land that has been neglected for over 2,000 years, and we're going to turn this into a powerhouse. We're going to turn this into a lighthouse. We're going to turn this land of Israel for a haven for those who are refugees from the dark days of the Holocaust. We're going to take Israel and we're going to show the world that no matter how much they try to beat us up and take us down, we will land on our feet. Our resilience have been there since God told us that you are a nation that's going to be a light unto other nations. You are a nation who you bless will be blessed. We don't take that lightly, but we take that blessing from God and we utilize it, and we turned Israel, a desolate desert, into a thriving, beautiful country that has become not only a superpower in power, but has become a super producer in all areas of life, that the world has benefited from technology, your GPS, your Waze. We'll go through a whole list of what Israelis' accomplishments have accomplished over the 70 years that you and I use today in our day-to-day lives, and even in the medicines and in the medical field and communications and travel and warfare. Israel is at the cutting edge. Give us the opportunity and we will continue on serving the world. We'll continue being a light unto the nations. Just let us live and let live. Let us live in peace, and peace will be there. As Golda Meir said, when the enemies put down their arms, then there'll be peace. If Israel has to put down arms, there'll be bloodshed. What does the world expect of us after October 7? After such a brazen attack in killing 1,200 beautiful innocent, do they expect us just to sit back and just continue on absorbing missile after missile and terror attack after terror attack? They started the war. We're going to end the war, and now it's time to finish the job. God bless you. God loves you.